everybody. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I can't believe that this is the Tuesday before Christmas. Man, where did this year go? Like 2020 to me is such a blur. I guess because I was doing so many things. There were so many good things and great things happening in our organizations that I just didn't have time to catch up. But I want to welcome everybody. Happy Tuesday. The weather here in Philadelphia on the East Coast is crazy. We had last week 260 days, 260-degree days. And then today, in the last couple of days, it's been freezing. So people are getting sick, me being one of them. I'm on the mend, on the rise, usually around this time of year. I always get some type of respiratory infection or sinus infection or something. So right now, things are just trying to get back to where they're supposed to be. Unfortunately, now the hubby is not feeling well. So, hopefully he will be on the rise. He will be on the mend. He has some type of sinus infection trying to set in. So we just can't get a break. But anyway, I just want to remind everyone that if you want to talk to me or my guest today, make sure you do it from our Unapologetically Me page on our Facebook page, Unapologetically Me. You can go there and you can talk to us. Also, you can go into our YouTube channel, the Philadelphia Women's Network Connection. You can ask questions from there too, and we will be able to see them. So today we got a great guest. You guys know I always have a great guest, of course. I can't wait to bring her in front of you to find out exactly what she does. This woman is a busy woman. She is busy. She wears so many hats. She does so many things. And she is also a PWNC Foundation board member. So I don't know how she finds time to do it all, but she does, and she makes it seem so effortlessly. So I'm going to find out what she does. Maybe it will help me going into 2022. So everyone, help me welcome into the studio today, Alexia. Hi, Alexia.
Hello. Good
How are you?
afternoon. I'm well, and yourself?
I'm getting there. I'm going to put on my reader so I can see. Yay, now I can see what I'm doing. All right. Yeah, Alexia and I was talking before we came onto the air that our household is full of germs, and I feel bad because I believe I passed this cold on to my husband, so now he's suffering. So we're just hoping that we get through this before the weekend, before Christmas is here. We don't want to be stuck in the house for Christmas. But enough about us. What's going on with you, Miss Alexia?
Man, I'm super excited. I have two little germs that are constantly running around. Happy holidays to Paul. So I have a 2-year-old and a 10-year-old, and both of them, are carriers. So we've been rotating in and out between the four of us. I'll say this fourth quarter, though, has been pretty good. We've been able to navigate around it. And the 10-year-old is actually getting her second dose of the COVID vaccine.
Okay.
So she's my husband and I are fully inoculated. As soon as they're ready for the under 5-year-olds, MJ's getting it, but she's well on her way.
Yeah. Paul and I, the same thing. We've been vaccinated, we've been boosted. And
Mhm.
as soon as you get sick, the first thing people say, oh, you better go get a COVID test. Is it COVID? No, people, it's not COVID. I'm not even throwing that out in the universe. I'm not even putting that into my life. So,
Right.
that's good that you're taking care of yourself. So, Alexia, before we even get started about the many hats that you wear, and you do wear many, how did you and I meet? Do you remember?
I do. And I was just actually looking at one of the pictures. So what is super dope about this interaction is it happened a few years ago, but the initial connection came from my realtor. So when Musa and I decided to relocate, we were in looking for a house, and I was very much so pregnant and just trying to figure out like how to get in where I fit in and finding a place. I'm talking to my realtor, and he's super knowledgeable, super connected, and he tells me about this amazing networking event that happens down at the Blue Cross building, on the with the beautiful overlook of the city, just all of that great stuff. And if you've never been to the Blue Cross building, especially in the Philadelphia area, it is an amazing site. But just think penthouse view. Okay, that's all
Mhm.
I can give you. So we're there. I'm enjoying myself. I'm meeting a lot of wonderful people. And I catch eyes with this amazing woman who is like bopping all around the place, very high spirited, very positive energy, smile on her face. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to connect with her. Let me go see what it is she does. And behold, it's you, Felicia, and you start telling me about the Philadelphia Women's Network Connect, which at that time, I don't even think you had hit a year, or you might have just hit a year. I
Mhm.
know you might have had a in between a infant and a toddler. I know
Mhm.
somewhere around there.
Mhm.
But I was just so intrigued and I was so impressed and I was so enamored with what you were looking to do. And I'm all about connections. Like my hashtag that I always use is evolution in progress. I have deemed myself like the expert in evolution and the Coco Mom Evolve. And so I'm always about like how you can elevate. And that's
Right.
exactly what I heard you doing
Mhm.
through the work with Philadelphia Women's Network Connect. So that's how we got connected through that wonderful networking event by Mr. George.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I missed that. That
Mm-hmm.
was an amazing, amazing that I mean, the who's who was in that room. And they
Yes.
continue to be in that room. So if you
Yes.
really want great connections, that's a networking and it's a breakfast. So
Yes.
imagine people during the week, 8 o'clock, because I think it was like 8 o'clock, 8:30, something, right?
It was.
50 people in this room, okay? Your breakfast, networking. He gives you the opportunity to come up to the podium and talk. And I remember, Alexia, when you came over to me and you were talking to me and you were like, hey, Felicia, I don't know if you were in my network yet. I don't know if you were a part of the PWNC community yet.
I don't think so. By the because it was I had heard of it, but I had not gotten connected yet.
Yeah. And I remember you came over and you were like, yeah, I heard about your organization. Tell me what it is that you do. I like what you're doing. You were like, I do these different things like that. And the funny part is you and I stay connected. I think then you were added into our Facebook group and, started following us and different things like that. And then you and I had the opportunity to start seeing really what it was that we did and how we could come together. And I remember when I threw up the invitation out there for new board members that you applied and we were talking to you, and I was like, wow, she is like on the same page as me. She got that energy, she got that strategic thing going on, which is what I love. So I think that's what drew us to one another. And then I started following you on Facebook and different things, and I just saw that you was making it happen. You were just doing things, you were moving. And like I said, girl, I don't know how you do it all, because between being the founder of Coco Life and the empowerment and everything else that you're doing, I don't know how you do it, but which business would you like to start with?
I am actually so glad that you mentioned Coco Life because that is right now by far like my passion.
Okay.
It is one of those areas. So when I first started out in the industry, it was corporate America. I did a lot of training, development, career exploration, even with these Fortune 500 and Fortune 1000 companies. So I've done
Mhm.
domestic and international work, starting up businesses. And so when I started Milestone, which when you and I met, Coco Life wasn't even a thought. So when I started
Right.
Milestone, that's really what I was geared on, right? I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I want to help businesses evolve. I want to work with people to help them identify what their passions are and turn that, help them monetize in that area.
Mhm.
Then Milestone kind of started to evolve itself and we started doing more training and curriculum development. But around 2020, March to be well, I should say 2019. So
Right.
2019 July, I was expecting at the time, like I mentioned before, we went through the home buying process, and I started thinking about my own journey,
Mhm.
the journey that I had with Camille, who is now 10,
Mhm.
and how troubling it was. And just to be fully transparent, at the time I was married. I was one of those things where I decided to get married. I was expecting, I was hoping for the best, but unfortunately, it did not go that way, and it was a very traumatic experience. So in the midst of, being pregnant, having a child, then my marriage starts to completely unravel. Subsequently, we ended up getting divorced, but nevertheless, I was going through postpartum depression. I mean, honestly, you name it, the emotional duress that I was under was super strong. I was at an organization that completely didn't value anything that I did at that time.
Mm,
And I was like, I can't go back. I cannot go back.
mhm,
Thankfully, they agreed, and I ended up getting laid off, funny enough.
mhm,
But going back to 2019, I'm thinking about that experience. Now,
mm,
here I am pregnant again, coming up on the anniversary of my mother, 1 year anniversary of my mother passing and my
mhm,
father-in-law passing. And here I am again, just like an emotional wreck. And I started thinking, I know I'm not the only woman going through this, right?
mhm.
I know friends and family that have been through a lot of what I'd gone through and more. And
Right.
so I said to myself, I know these spaces exist, right? And I want to create a space specifically where we can focus on reducing the race related disparities in Black maternal health
Mhm.
and celebrate Black maternal health and Black maternal wellness. So I'm looking at Black and Brown moms and I'm like, what can we do to help elevate, right? And I want to create a space for those persons who may not be Black or Brown, but agree that we need to make some differences and changes.
Mhm.
And thus, Coco Life kind of came to fruition. Now, when we first started, it was actually cocobump.com. And I'm going to
Okay.
tell you, for all of those who are thinking of starting a business or thinking of starting an initiative, the very first thing you really, really, really should do is get yourself a really good trademark attorney. Go
Yes.
through some really good trademarking. That was a lesson that I learned because what happened, and I honestly, I was a little bit excited about it. But when we launched Coco Bump, it wasn't even 3 months in, and essentially, I got like the cease and desist letter that was
Wow.
like, hold on, your name and what you do sounds really close from the retail side, I'll say. Sounds
Gotcha.
with the boxes, sounds really close to what we do. And we want you to not use that name anymore. So I talked to my attorney and I was like, hey, what do you think I should do? And
Mhm.
she was like, you know what? You're still new. You're still a newborn at that time. Just pivot, just rebrand. I
Mhm.
know a little something about rebranding. So I was like, okay, sure. That's how we became Coco Life going into 2020.
Wow. Wow. Isn't that something? Well, like again, it goes back to that what you don't know, you don't know. And
Mm-hmm,
thank God that you were at a point in your business where you could rebrand because a lot
mm-hmm,
of people could be going years and then you get a cease and desist letter. And then you're like, oh my God, it's been 3 years and I've been using this brand and people know me. And now I got to redo it all over again. So
right.
that's definitely brave on your part. So it started as Coco Bump. Where did that name come from? How did you come up with Coco Bump or Coco Life or Coco anything?
So I knew I definitely, the cocoa part represents like the Black and brown communities. And with Cocoa Bump, it was like the whole pregnancy piece. But I had threw out a bunch of names to my good girlfriend Jasmine and my cousin T, because I'm sharing this with them, right? So they
Mhm.
were also two other cocoa moms that had experienced loss, had gone through the process of actually giving their child up for adoption, looking into adoption, like the whole gamut. So I
Mhm.
threw them a couple of names and they were like, oh, we really like Coco Bump. And I was like, oh, I like it too. And then, because it seems really cute, right?
Right.
And so we went down that path. But again, the name, the bump part was really, really close to
Mhm.
another brand. And that's why I said I was actually kind of honored. And that's my attorney said the same thing. She was like, listen, that means that you got something here. So
Mhm.
let's lean into that. So then Coco Life came because really and truly the blessing in it is that it is a lifestyle. And we're not just talking about pregnancy. And we always talk in terms of motherhood being just extended beyond just the pregnancy part or birthing a natural birth. It's
Mhm.
women who have gone through infertility challenges, moms in the community, church moms, pet moms, like however you mother. I think as a community, that's something that we do as women. We have maternal instinct, whether you chose or did not choose, or it just did not necessarily go that way to mother in the traditional sense that we know. And so when we talk about Coco Life, it was like, you know what, this feels better even. This
Mhm.
feels so much. So, I thank God that we had to pivot that way because I think it definitely opened us up to be more intentional about how we move.
Gotcha, gotcha. I just want to welcome. There's a sneeze that's trying to come out. It's driving me crazy. It's driving me crazy. It's like,
I
it's like it's right there. And it's like, just please come out, do
yeah.
something. But I want to welcome Taylor and Paul. Taylor is in beautiful Florida. So Taylor, we need your weather up here on the
Mm.
up here in Philadelphia because it's very cold. So I want to thank both of you for joining, and also Paul, even though he's not feeling well, thank him for joining as well. So he said, sneeze. I wish I could. It won't come out. So you know what's going to happen. You're going to be in the middle of something, and this is live, people. Only
You
live.
gotta love it.
You know? But okay, so tell me. Okay, so now we got through Cocoa Life. We know how that
Mhm.
came about. So let's talk about your other business.
Mhm.
Okay, because you have, like I said, girl, you wear a lot of hats. And when you came to me and said, Felicia, I would like to be a board member, I was like, when is she going to find time to do all of this? And I didn't tell you guys, Alexia, she is our executive director on our board. And when I say this girl got it going on, she got it going on.
Oh, thank
And
you.
let me tell you, because sometimes you need people to help you pass the baton. Sometimes you
Mhm.
need people to be an extension of you. And once you knew the vision as far as PWNC Foundation and what we're trying to do, you were like, Felicia, I'm on board. How can I help you? And
Mhm.
these are the people that I have prayed for to be around me, to see the mission. Because, you know, me being the president and founder, I can't do it all. I can't
Mhm.
do it all. I don't want to do it all. It's very exhausting, you know, trying to build two companies because our foundation is only 2 years old. Whereas my for-profit, the Philadelphia Women's Network Connection, is less than 3 years old.
Mhm.
So it's like, you know, but you know all about this. So let's talk a little bit about your second business.
So I think with Milestone Pros, and that business actually started in 2017. And I really came in like, oh, we can do everything. You know, we can help businesses. We can do this. We can do that. And then I quickly realized like, you really don't want to be everything to everybody. So it goes into that concept of niching your market.
Mm-hmm.
And so with Milestone, that was the side of me that was super corporate, super or hyper focused, I should say, on emotional intelligence and leadership development and all those areas that I had utilized my skill sets in corporate America and helping to build those businesses. So when I transitioned out of corporate America, I was like, you know what? It makes sense for me to take these skills and I can do everything. And then about a year of just total exhaustion hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was like, so everything is not a business model.
Right.
And maybe we need to reevaluate. And so since then, what has birthed and developed for Milestone is we are now focused on public relations strategizing.
Okay.
And so what that looks like is very heavy on the brand development side,
Mm-hmm.
whether you're an individual professional or a business,
Mm-hmm.
helping you to get access to networks that you may not necessarily have the access to
Mm-hmm.
or may not have the capital to get the access to monetarily because it is expensive to do that. And so through my own network and networks of my network, it has helped me to create a lot of great spaces for some small business owners and individual professionals to grow. And then, of course, the training and development piece is kind of like the other division under Milestone. So we do a lot of curriculum development and a lot of training. We've done it for different universities like Cheney and Westchester. We've done some work with Temple, work up in Boston, and even all the way over in California,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of segues into our CHAMP program. CHAMP program, which stands for Committed to Honoring and Achieving My Purpose, it started as a program and a workshop for youth.
Okay.
So ages like, I would say 5th grade to 12th grade.
Mm-hmm.
We were contracted through some of the districts, like the school district of Philadelphia, and then again, some other districts. But what we started realizing was that, again, the training and development concept, it's for all of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it also moves into the adult literacy area. So now we've picked up other contracts to do a lot of that same type of work. And
Mm-hmm.
so we just position it all under like a CHAMP profile. It's just, is it a youth workshop for high school scholars and adolescents, or are we older adolescents and moving up to more experienced professionals?
Yeah. Now you guys see why we have her as a board member. Alexia is no joke. She is just no joke. I'm telling you. But not only that, but there was another milestone that you just hit. You and your husband, the weight loss. You.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yes. Oh my gosh, man. So that turned into a whole nother initiative, which I kind of do under Coco Life. But so I told you about the pregnancy, told you about the losses. And so where that manifested itself, right? And ladies, we know, especially, we will either eat or not eat ourselves into some sort of spiral.
Mhm.
And that's kind of what I turned to, either turned to food or turned away from the right foods, however you want to look at it. But I had picked up probably about 60 or 50 or so pounds throughout a 3-year time frame. And I
Mhm.
hadn't stepped on the scale in 3 years. I was like, forget it. I know I'm heavy and that's it. So in mid-March of 2021,
Mhm.
I was like, enough is enough. My uncle, who is like this fitness guru, right? He kept telling Musa and I, he's like, oh, I need you to join this program with me. I'm doing a lot of work and it's going to help. And we were like, no, because he be jumping out of airplanes and stuff. And we're like, we're not doing that. Mm-mm. He was like, no, I promise you, it's all focused on nutrition. So I was
Mhm.
like, okay, we'll give it a shot. So from mid March, in the first 4 weeks, I dropped 20 pounds.
Mhm.
And then from mid March to August, 50 pounds I was able to release. And I did not realize the toxic relationship that I had with food. And
Mhm.
I'm not saying to eat it all, but
Mhm.
even the types of food, not eating food, that I would use that as a coping strategy that was
Mhm.
not helping me. So I had made it all up to like 241 pounds, which was my absolute heaviest in life,
Wow.
even pregnant. Like I was heavier then than I was pregnant.
Right.
Um, and so I was so grateful. I'm so thankful for that opportunity. But then that also opened up another door for me to become a certified health coach.
Mhm.
And so that's what I do now. So as a postpartum doula, I know y'all like, what is going?
The reason why we laugh, and for those of you who might be joining us now, we're talking about the many hats that Alexia wears. Since we've been on here in 20 minutes, we have went through 3 or 4 businesses already.
It's to the point where now though I do realize that they must align in some capacity. So if I was going to create 2 buckets, it would be Coco Life and it would be Milestone. And so it has to fall under one of those. And so just to hone in on why joining Philadelphia Women's Network Connection as on that side was important, and then wanting to be a part of the foundation is, I honestly, I don't know where I would be.
Mm,
Well, I know where I would be, but I don't know where I would be without the some amazing women in my life. And I
yes.
cannot imagine trying to navigate this journey. And as little and short a time as we've known each other, you're one of those women that have been very
Oh,
influential to me.
Alexi,
And
don't
I
say that. You know I'm
no,
sick. I'm sick, which means I'm more emotional.
nope,
So
I'm saying it.
I'm trying to get
Listen,
out the sneeze, and then you're going to have me crying. I'm going to have a
well,
hot
then sniff.
mess.
Listen, if you're trying to get your sneeze out, then sniff these flowers I'm giving you because it'll
Oh,
help you sneeze. But I am a firm believer now more than ever, again, learning from my mom's journey. No, like the dopeness that has come with some of these phenomenal women, I was like, I need to be a part of an organization that gets that, that's doing that. And that's really what, and I wanted to be a part of an organization where I can be influential. And this is nothing against any other organization out there, but I am the type of person, I want my contributions to matter.
mhm.
And I don't want to just be a number. I don't want to be member 2362.0.
Right.
But I also know that you got to get involved to be
Yes,
involved.
that's right.
So that's the reason why too it meant so much to me to join the foundation in this way and to be a part of this network.
Well, you know what? Like I said, and we were happy to have you. I think the pieces are all coming together. Once you find those, your tribe, and that
Yeah.
everybody is on the same page and working towards the same goal. And, like I tell people, I am not one of those people that is like, well, don't give me criticism or don't tell me how you feel. I want to know shooting straight. And I think you know that about me. I'm
Yes.
like, listen, give it to me straight, no chaser, I have to hear it. Just because I'm the founder and the president, don't mean I'm going to get upset. you know?
Right.
I mean, because you are telling me things that's going to help me grow, to help me be a better leader. And that's what it's all about. You know, my whole
Mm-hmm.
purpose of forming the foundation and the for profit, which is the Philadelphia Women's Network Connection, is to serve women in our organization, to help them get to a level where they want to be. Some of them is as simple as just marketing,
Right.
learning how to market correctly, or even making those connections or those collaborations. And I'm like, listen, you know, I can sit here and tell you how I'm going to help you build your business, or I can show you how I'm going to help you build your business. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
think that, you know, I don't only talk the talk, but I walk the walk. So,
Agreed.
and I feel that way about you also. But one thing I want to ask is the clothes, girl. The clothes. Where do you get your wardrobe from? Because you be like, I remember you was in Hawaii and you had on this outfit with the hat, bathing suit. I was like, you know what? I'm not liking her right now.
Listen,
You be bringing
Felicia,
it. You be bringing it.
there are many things people say. You should have saw my face when you just said that. Like inside, I've been working really hard on my appearance. So you know, too, you lose weight. You know, because you've gone through your own journey. You lose weight, and you're just like a new person. And the
Yeah.
thing about it is, it's not like I haven't been this size before. Because I mean, I have. I passed this on my way up on the escalator. But it's just something different when your mental space, right? So even as I was talking to my therapist, I did mental work through this program too. That's what made me decide to be a health coach. So I'll tell people, you can lose the weight, but if you don't transform the mind, you can forget it. So when it comes to the clothes, I am definitely that person who did a whole lot. You know those memes where like all the stuff I bought during COVID, during the quarantine, that was me. I was on Instagram. Chizimi is the one, Chizmi. Fashion is where I got the swimsuit and the hat. So I'm
Okay.
also very big on shopping small and shopping Black owned and brown owned businesses. So I'm always shopping small business, always trying to shop minority owned businesses, again, to help with the economic structure and intentionality. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to find stuff, but it literally is wherever. I just ordered something the other day from this site called Lorgel or something, Lorgel. But that's it. Facebook ads, I check it. And I'm always like, now I've had some misses. I'm going to start posting those. I've had some what you ordered versus what you got.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've had some of those, but I've honestly had way more success. And
Mm-hmm.
so the items that maybe didn't work for me because of my body type or whatever, I also support the oh my gosh, now I can't even think of it, but it's the organization in Philadelphia off of Spring Garden where you can donate
Oh, they're
professional
not there
clothes.
anymore. I know you're talking about
Yes, they're not, yes,
wardrobe.
yes, career wardrobe. There you go.
Yes,
So
yes.
I'll do things like that. But yes, that's kind of how I lean into the fashion side because
Mhm.
that's not something Alexia has ever been known for. Is oh my God, that's cute. It
Yes.
might be, oh, she said some good stuff, but so I started leaning into that, like, oh, I do like this, and I felt more comfortable in my skin to
Mhm.
try different clothes and try different outfits.
Yes. Well, let me tell you, that organization, I have went there to get a lot of stuff. And what I
Mm-hmm.
like is that they have designer stuff. I mean,
Yes.
I have gotten Ralph Lauren, I have gotten you know, shoes, all kind of designer
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And for the prices that they're asking, because they are a nonprofit as well, you
Yes.
know, I've gotten some really good deals. I've gotten gowns through there for black ties that I went to. But I just wanted you to know that I was like, you know what, I gotta catch up with Alexia and find out where she's getting these clothes from, because her clothes be on point, and you just be like, I'm like, you know what? I'm sick of you right now.
Oh my gosh. And you sound, let me tell you, I laugh to myself sometimes when some of my mom's friends will comment because I'm like, it's so my mom. Like, I feel like these are some of
Right.
the things that she always says too. Like, all you doing is spending your money on clothes. Like, listen,
Well, you know what? You
okay.
want to show off your new, you know, you lost weight. You and your husband both look good. You guys
Oh,
look
thank
really,
you.
really good. And you're staying healthy. And I get it. Listen, I'm like you with the fashions and stuff. I like to go find stuff that people don't have,
Yes.
you know, what they're not wearing, from the pocketbooks down to the shoes, you know, but then that's the New Yorker in me. That's the
Yes.
Fashion Institute school in me. That's,
That's why I was so honored. I was like, oh, she's from the city too.
yeah.
Oh, thank
Yes,
you.
Yes. Oh, trust me, I'll be looking. There, listen, okay? Just because I'm on Facebook, yes, sometimes I read and I post, but I'll be looking through people's posts too. And yours is definitely one of them. So, just to keep up with everything that you're doing, and you're doing some great things. I can't believe like this half an hour went by so quickly. You
It
know why?
did.
Because you and I sitting here having fun. That's why it
Yes.
always is that way. But I'm going to bring up your website here. Do you have anything that's coming up in the new year that you want people to know about that you can talk about?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for that. So, yes, with CocoLife.Black, go there. One, check out our amazing commercial. That commercial is very special to us because it was filmed on the International Coco Mom Day. That's right. Google it, y'all. There is actually a day. It is May 22nd. And on that day in 2021, we got together with some ladies in Philadelphia at Sarah Green, and we decided to do this photo shoot and commercial shoot. And so that's really what that initial video that you see, it is our commercial, and a chance to share a little bit more about Coco Life. So in January of 2022, we are going to be leveraging a lot of the work that we're doing as a nonprofit, which is we have an event coming up. It is Martin Luther King Day weekend, where we're going to be packing up and making some care packages for recently released women who are recently released.
Mhm.
It's a program that we're partnering with Color of Change for, and it's a great way for us to give back and be intentional about that space. And so in 2022, our goal is to expand our resource list online. So if you are a resource, like how we said, it does not have to just be, oh, you are a doula or you deal in maternal health.
Mhm.
It needs to be like the Philadelphia Women's Network Connection. If you have financial literacy organizations, whatever it is that you do that
Mhm.
will benefit someone else, specifically a woman that is coming from a Black and Brown community and need that sort of access, we want that resource.
Mhm.
So connect with us so that we can update it. We're going to have it span nationally, is how the breakdown will be. But that is the goal for 2022, is to enhance our resource list so that all these women that are coming to join us have a place that they can show up and go to and say, oh, I want to connect with this one in my area and that place in my area.
Awesome, awesome. And I know also you have some things planned for our foundation. I don't want to throw the dates
Yes.
out there, but I know you have some events that are coming up that hopefully we would be able to do in person. Um,
Yes.
to get our community back to networking and things like that. So, we'll let everybody know. We'll list it on our website as far as what's going on. But Alexa has 3 events that she has in mind for PWNC Foundation. You guys will be hearing more about that in the future. So, Alexia, I hate to say goodbye because
I
I'm
know.
enjoying the conversation with you because we get on here, we have fun, we
Mm-hmm.
act up, we have a good time. But that's what we do. I look forward to going into 2022 with you. You are definitely an asset to our foundation. I am so glad that you are part of our foundation, that you see the mission, that you want to be a part of the mission, that you work as hard as I do. Because I know those last 2 weeks for Giving Tuesday, we were hustling, girl. We were hustling. And not
Listen.
we meet our goal, we exceeded our goal, which was, yes, which, so definitely everyone be looking more forward to more fundraisers, a lot of great things happening for our organization, for Alexia's organization, because she has like 5 jobs, 5 businesses, and then everything else in between, trying to fit her family and vacations and everything else in there. It's going to get to a point I'm going to have to start texting you.
Said the pot.
Yeah, yeah. I'll go on Facebook Messenger and I'm like, Alexia, look at your messages. Look at your messages. So I know between the text and the messages, eventually, I will get you. But this has been so much fun. This has been so
Yes.
fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, thank you. So you hang on for a minute. I'm gonna go say goodbye to everybody. Uh, thank you. Okay, everyone. As usual, you can see we had a great conversation today. Make sure that you reach out to Alexia. She is on Facebook. Like she said, she is all about collaboration, like I am. We both got that same mindset. There is enough out here for all of us to be successful. We don't have to compete. When women come together and they collaborate, we can get so much more done. So I hope that you guys stay safe. Most importantly, be thankful that you got through this year with your health intact. We lost so many people over this year, over last year. We still have this virus out here taking people out. They're talking about being on a rise. So just be careful. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you're mindful of others. Enjoy your holiday with your family, however you decide to celebrate. Remember the reason for the season. It's not all about going out and buying presents and giving gifts like that. It's about gratitude and being thankful, because when you are thankful and you have gratitude, that opens you up for even more. So on that note, everyone, again, I will talk to you next Tuesday on Unapologetically Me at 12:30. And again, have a wonderful Christmas weekend. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye now.